Like, how did you feel when you found out that your friend got killed?
I was devastated, you know? Like, it was, I wasn't the same. It changed me to this day. Like, I still think of him every day, you know? Like, before I drink any liquid, I'll pour something out before I drink it, you know? And say, I still remember you, you know? But it was really hard, man. Like, my best friend and stuff, and seeing his family still in the neighborhood.
Today we will be talking about the story of Wassi, whose real name is Quasi Skeen Peters. Wassi grew up on the dangerous but well-known hood of Driftwood. Wassi and Pressa were friends from when they were really young. It is reported that Wassi had started getting into street life by the young age of 13. One school teacher, Devin Jones, talks openly about Wassi and his early experiences. He once recalled one Saturday in 2005, when gunfire erupted in Driftwood, leaving a young man dead on a footbridge. He watched Wassi, then a preteen, stumble across the bullet-riddled body. "I thought to myself, he will never be a kid again," Mr. Jones said. "There's no way you can see something this grotesque as a child and go on to become a normal functioning human being." Mr. Jones encouraged Wassi to join the Youth Association for Academics, Athletic, and Character Education, a group he co-founded after the footbridge incident to steer at-risk kids off the streets and into school. On at least one occasion, he took Wassi to a camp outside the city to remove him, for a time, from the life that was beginning to envelop him. But while Mr. Jones's tireless efforts put hundreds of children on a path to post-secondary education, he could not save Wassi, who skipped school to work part-time before entering the drug trade full-time. Wassi would spend most of his childhood in and out of a juvenile detention center. A few years before this, while still being in the youth center, Wassi's gang that he was allegedly a part of was called the Young Buck Killers, or YBK for short. The police were doing an operation looking to shut down this gang around this same time. Multiple raids were done, seizing many guns and drugs across the Driftwood area. About 400 charges were given out to around 60 suspects, one of them being Wassi. Wassi is later granted bail despite the charges given to him. For the next few years, he continued his life in the streets, where he caught a gun charge when he turned 18. On June 28, 2015, 2 men were killed where Wassi was named as one of the suspects in the murder. The police put up wanted signs for him all over the city. The other man accused of the murder turned himself in, but Wassi did not. The search for Wassi went on for about a month until the event of his tragic demise. On July 25, 2015, officers approached Wassi in his car, which was parked outside a nightclub just shortly after 2 a.m., where 2 shots were fired from inside the vehicle where Wassi was sitting. The police acted in self-defense, shooting Wassi where he would later die from a gunshot wound to the heart. There were allegedly 20 to 30 shots fired in total. The Special Investigations Unit, the oversight body that probes all deaths involving police in Ontario, determined that Wassi had fired the first shot and that officers had acted in self-defense. He was only 21 at the time of his death. Shortly after his death, Wassi's gang was created in tribute to Wassi, which includes a lot of Driftwood rappers including Robin Banks, Pressa, FB, and many more. Pressa was one of Wassi's closest friends, where he reflects a lot on the loss of his friend, saying, "I miss my bro, so everything I do is for him." Wassi had a tough life that was filled with crime and the streets. Despite his tragic end, his name lives on in Driftwood and with the Wassi's gang. Rest in peace, Quasi Skeen Peters aka Wassi.